I know that I'm going to take his lots out in the first round.
So we're going to finish the fight.
We're going to finish the fight. And he was talking to the ref. He wasn't talking to Ilia. So I took it as Ilia was like, dude, I can't go on. And when you hear that from your athlete, you have to make that right choice. I'm like, do we take more damage or do we go on? So look at me.
Nothing left.
Okay, it's over. It's over. Stop it.
Yeah. It's the pressure fight. Oh, my head, he hurt him. I mean, Ilia's face is just destroyed.
No. We finished the fight.
That's the end of the fight, Mr. President.
And that'll do it. That's it.
I think he's honest with himself. Ilia and I, we share the same agent, and we were talking about him earlier today. And what I heard was that he's humble, that he is honest. He realized that he just didn't perform well.
Today, we're diving into a brand new UFC documentary featuring never-before-heard audio from Ilia Topuria's corner. We'll also take a closer look at Topuria's recovery, the latest updates on his comeback, and hear surprising reactions from Joe Rogan, along with several fighters and coaches, as they reveal new details about the fight and its aftermath.
Do what I did in the sport.
So what do you think it will take Ilia to get back to fighting again after such a loss?
Ilia's he's gonna be in a good position. He has faith. He has a strong team. And that's a lot of what it takes. He has a work ethic. I think he's honest with himself. Ilia and I, we share the same agent, and we were talking about him earlier today. And what I heard was that he's humble, that he is honest. He realized that he just didn't perform well, and I think that's the number one step of getting back into the ring in a healthy way. It's the guys that make excuses. That's when it's hard to come back and win that rematch. Guys who just say, you know what, I could have did better, I could have done more. Honesty with yourself is the key to MMA. Knowing exactly who you are, what you've done, what you haven't done. You can't lie once you get in that cage. What's real will come to the light.
John Jones believes Ilia Topuria's greatest challenge isn't his skill, it's how he responds to defeat. According to Jones, reaching the top of the sport brings new pressures, including fame, expectations, and distractions that can be just as difficult to manage as any opponent inside the octagon. He argues that many champions don't falter because of their ability, but because of the environment surrounding them. That's why a strong team, honest self-evaluation, and the willingness to learn from mistakes are so important. In Jones' view, Topuria's comeback will depend on staying grounded, rebuilding the right way, and refusing to let ego dictate his path back to the top.
Brother did the right thing and stopped the fight. I didn't hear what he said until I understood the language where he was like, he said it a certain way. And the third time I heard it, I was like,
we're going to finish the fight.
We're going to finish the fight. And he was talking to the ref. He wasn't talking to Ilia. So I took it as Ilia was like, dude, I can't go on. And when you hear that from your athlete, you have to make that right choice. I'm like, do we take more damage or do we go on? So look at me.
Nothing left.
Okay, it's over. It's over. Stop it.
Yeah.
I'm always there to protect my athletes. And it's very nice to be able to work with people that have the same goals as me. My goals is I'm never going to be a champion. I'm a championship coach, but I'm not a champion. And being able to work with people that want to chase things like that, I get so much joy out of it. Seeing the concern in his brother's eye and the way his brother was pulling the hood off, like, bro, don't be embarrassed. You fought your ass off. Like, that is special. That is like, everybody's making fun of like the way he was putting a hood over his head. When you're down, you're down. And, you know, again, to be at the level that he is at took the most courage to get to that point. And what he's done to the guys prior to us, his brother was telling him, pull that off, dude. Like, don't be down. We lost. And when you lose a round, doesn't mean you lose a fight. When you win, when you lose a fight, doesn't mean you lose your opportunity.
When the fight was stopped, Ilia Topuria's corner made a decision that immediately divided opinion. His brother stepped in, not as a spectator, but as the person responsible for making the toughest call in the heat of the moment. Even when a fighter insists they can continue, the corner must judge the reality of the situation. In that moment, the decision wasn't about courage. It was about protecting the fighter. As his coach later explained, the hardest responsibility isn't always pushing a fighter forward, but knowing when to pull them back. Seeing the exhaustion, hesitation, and mounting damage, they chose to prioritize Topuria's long-term health over his determination to keep fighting, believing that at the highest level, safety must come before pride.
To this fight, Justin, that was so unique was I've already lost. I've already put myself in the worst scenario. Fear is a great thing, and understanding that the worst case scenario, when you put yourself in that scenario, and what that does is that causes you not to hesitate, and you have such a unique mindset to that. Where did that come from? Where did your mindset come from?
Definitely all came from wrestling. You know, I wrestled so many matches, and, you know, where I was mentally, it was a big factor and a big variable when it came to my ability to compete. So just understanding that I, you know, had control, and really just keeping it so simple, keeping it as simple as possible, not confusing things, not overinflating things, and just...
Justin Gaethje's mindset is built on embracing the possibility of defeat before the fight even begins. Shaped by his wrestling background, he learned to stay composed in controlled chaos rather than fear it. Years of competition taught him that the mental battle is often the toughest one to win. For Gaethje, fear isn't a weakness. It's something to accept and use as motivation. Once emotion is set aside, hesitation disappears, allowing instinct, discipline, and execution to take over. That's the mental edge he believes separates him from many of his opponents.
No te vuelvas loco cuando cruces, ¿vale? Eres mucho mejor que él.
Topuria landing a remarkable 72% of his significant strikes.
Oh, right hand, he hurt him.
Follow the doctor, he can see in the right eye.
Time. Doctor, make your assessment,
All
please.
right, Mark Goddard has now called time, giving the ringside physician a chance to make his decision.
This allows Topuria more time.
The doctor's saying no.
Where's this doctor from?
The doctor's going to call the fight.
Is this doctor from DC?
Ilia, watch it.
He just said something to his brother.
Wow, it's almost like he's trying to not finish. They're not going to let him answer the next round.
Track the referee. They're going to stop it. Take 10.
No. We finished the fight.
That's the end of the fight, Mr. President.
And that'll do it. That's it.
Unbelievable!
And new tired on his stool.
Oh,
That was the greatest fight yet.
So good, Anna. Love you.
Woo! Beyond anything that anybody's ever seen in sports.
The stoppage wasn't caused by a single punch. It was the result of damage that accumulated over several rounds. Ilia Topuria continued to land accurate strikes, but it became increasingly clear that his vision and reactions were being affected. When the cage side doctor stepped in, the fight shifted from a contest of offense and defense to a matter of medical safety. The referee allowed every possible moment for a proper assessment, but the signs were becoming impossible to ignore. The visible damage and growing risk left little room for doubt. When the fight was finally stopped, the arena fell silent as everyone realized the same thing. This wasn't just the end of a fight. It was a reminder of the physical toll that elite mixed martial arts can take on the human body.
I counted him out against Paddy. I thought Paddy was going to, come out there and get the job done. He proved me wrong. Thought Ilia was going to get the job done. He proved me wrong. I felt embarrassed to even be sitting by him, counting him out. It was one of the most inspiring fights I've ever seen. His jab looked beautiful. His awkwardness helped him. Ilia did not know what to do. Ilia would still crack him, but Justin didn't even look like he got in a fight. It was so impressive. It was one of the sickest performances of all time.
Some of these small guys, they're delusional. They have false confidence because they're hiding behind a weight class.
Were you surprised that Topuria ended up losing?
Topuria, in my eyes, was the best UFC fighter right now, but Topuria makes the mistake of he trains a little too hard. I knew if Gaethje could withstand the storm, he had unorthodox things that he was doing. Gaethje would dip and then grab that uppercut and hit him with the uppercut because, he's...
What impressed experienced fighters most wasn't just the outcome. It was how composed Justin Gaethje remained under pressure. Even seasoned analysts underestimated his ability to stay calm in the most chaotic moments. While many fighters begin to fade as a fight intensifies, Gaethje appeared to grow stronger. His timing became sharper, his reads more precise, and his durability fueled his momentum. Ilia Topuria continued to show flashes of elite skill, but as the fight wore on, his rhythm began to slip, and the openings he had controlled early started to disappear. By the later rounds, the contest had become as much a test of endurance as it was of technique.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to ask you about, because Ilia Topuria, who's been undefeated now, suffered his first defeat. What does it take to be an undefeated fighter, and seeing how other fighters who have been undefeated, they lose their perfect record at some point?
It's hard. It's really a hard thing to do. You know, when you become a UFC champion, you become more famous right away. You get invited to dinner. There's the girls, and there's the money, and there's all these new friends, and there's just so much that gets thrown at you. And if you're not grounded enough, if you don't have a strong enough circle and team, it's easy to just get distracted. You know, I have fallen victim to all the things that a young athlete can. You know, the partying and getting in trouble, all of it. But in my situation, I had a team that always held me to a high standard, you know, and they never allowed me to get discouraged by my downfalls, and they just always encouraged me to just keep moving forward. One of my head coaches, Greg Jackson, he would always tell me, John, potential is the worst thing to waste. You know you have a talent and you can do something, you owe it to the sport and to greatness to give it your all. And so, I always say making it to the UFC is fairly easy. Staying in the UFC is very hard. Staying the UFC champion is.
John Jones believes that staying undefeated in MMA is about far more than talent alone. It's about handling the challenges that come with success. According to Jones, the moment a fighter becomes a champion, everything changes. The attention grows, expectations rise, and distractions become impossible to avoid. He explains that fame often brings comfort, and comfort can slowly erode the discipline that helped a fighter reach the top. That's why Jones places so much importance on a strong team and the right environment. Trusted coaches and teammates keep a champion accountable, preventing confidence from turning into complacency. In his view, many careers don't decline because opponents become better. They decline because fighters stop approaching each challenge with the mindset of a hungry contender. Once that mentality fades, defending success becomes far more difficult.